Hello, fellow creators. I have to tell you that fairly regularly, subjects for videos I do have come from someone asking me a question. And that's awesome because I absolutely love the fact that I can answer somebody's question for them. And please remember that whenever I answer a question, it's always prefaced with "in my opinion" or "in my experience." I am not an expert really at much of anything. um, I wanted to talk to you today about favorite journals, okay? Or books, whatever they are. Sketchbooks, journals. We all have a favorite that we just love, that we're comfortable. And frankly, when we start to get toward the end of it, it almost slows us down because we don't want to put it away. Okay, so here's my solution to that, all right? My daughter gave me this journal, I'd say 7 years ago. Now, I love this journal, and there's nothing really that personal in it. But these two pages are nice and solid, and they stay with this book. But this part, my friends, right here, is the fourth incarnation of this book. Over on those shelves, I have 4 innards that I finished in this cover because I love this cover. It has meaning for me, not the cover itself, but the fact that Kelly gave it to me and so on. So I put my innards away, and as you can see, I insert another inside book so that I can continue to use this cover. And it's still my current personal book. This is the one I write the really personal stuff in, the feelings book. The rest of my journals have specific topics and so on. But this here has been redone 4 times. This time I decided to try the Tomoe River paper, that really thin paper. And frankly, I love working on it, but it's hard to get anymore. It's very hard to get. So if you particularly love a cover, then you can find ways to reuse it. Like this book that you've seen before. I've filled this before, this cover and so on. And my daughter just grabbed me a sketchbook because she knew I would absolutely love the cover. And she's absolutely right. It was a dollar store purchase, but I absolutely love the cover. It's this really hard cover full of lovely, not super thick or watercolor paper per se, but it takes watercolor okay. That's my granddaughter's hand. And I will be reusing this cover for something. I don't know yet. We'll see down the road when I get it finished what I'm going to end up using it for. But she knew I would love that cover, and she knows I don't throw them away. For example, this was a sketchbook, God, it's old, that I got years ago, like 6, 7, 8 years ago. And it's a sketchbook done by Wainwright, an artist named Wainwright. And his estate put out this sketchbook. It's a lovely, sewn-binded sketchbook. Absolutely lovely. I try all the watercolors in my sketchbooks at the back and so on. And I like this book. But if I didn't have any innards available for this one, it's close enough to the size that I most definitely would extract a portion of this book and put it in here because I love working in this book. You can call that my ADHD or my diversity, whatever you'd like. But this book means nothing to me other than a book full of nice paper. This book I enjoy writing in. Now, it's the same as this kind of thing. I could easily use this book for an innards because, again, it is a sewn binding, easy to use, and so on. This is just a fun book, okay? And my day book, as I've shown you before, This here is actually twice as thick when I buy it. It's 600 pages from Barnes & Noble, and I love them because they're soft cover. And I bring them home and cut them in half and use an old back cover and then add some pretty duct tape or something. So I'm not dealing with this great big huge book, and I tend to get a little bored with my journals and books and so on because they get all ratted up, and I use and use and use them. So I tend to make 2 books out of every one of these that I buy, and I've always got one of these on the go. This is the innards from the other half of this book. This whole thing is the innards. So that's how thick the book is on its own. Well, no, about that. That's how thick these books are when I buy them. So I split them in 2, and I have 2 gorgeous graph paper books. So if you have a particular cover, it is not hard to cut the inside from one book and glue it in. You don't have to have a sewn binding like this. These were all loose leaf, came in a pack from Amazon of this Tomoe River paper. I cut them in half, squared up this line, this side, clamped it very tight, and applied 2 or 3 layers of Aleene's Tacky Glue, this stuff. And I let it dry thoroughly, and then I glued it back into my book, and it's there, and I'm using it, and it's the 4th innards that this book has had. So if you have a favorite book, even if you don't want to make another book out of it, you can make a folder out of it for something. You don't have to put it away on a shelf just because you've finished it or the last page is finished. You can keep your awesome stuff. The innards for this book, the 4 that I've finished, are over there on the shelf. They're all I've got cardboard folders around them so that they're protected, but it doesn't require the cover to know I have all that finished work over there. This just keeps me going. It keeps me, I don't know, my daughter just thought it was the prettiest thing and it reminded me of her, and I love stuff like this. So for me, that's its meaning, and I'm going to just keep on using it. I keep on finding innards I can transplant, and so I do. Don't put your covers away that really make you feel inspired. Redo them. Give them new life. Implant another notebook, minus its cover, inside your favorite cover. Have a great day.